Hello guys, and welcome to another video of learning history with me. This is a book review, but yeah, it's technically also like learning history, but anyways, the book I chose is called 1 Minute to Midnight by Michael Dobbs, and it's a story of a real event that could have been the trigger for the end of the world. Almost literally. Although it could have been literally. But you're going to understand when you watch this video, because who wouldn't want to know how the World War III might have begun? It was October 16, 1962, and President John F. Kennedy had just received news that the Soviet Union had missiles in Cuba. This had happened because Fidel Castro, who was the leader of Cuba at the time, joined the Soviets to help them put some missiles in Cuba. They had put the missiles there because Castro wanted to protect himself from the USA, and the USSR wanted to pay the USA back, because them putting missiles in Cuba was the same thing as the USA putting missiles in Turkey, which they already had done. Communication wasn't as fast as it is now, and that caused many problems. When Kennedy learned that there were some missiles from the enemy ready to launch, he panicked and started planning for an attack. There were various options they considered over a short time, like making a surprise air attack to destroy the missiles, or another thing. But John was afraid of what would come if they attacked because he didn't want another world war. The second one had just recently ended 70 years ago. Back in Russia, Nikita Khrushchev was also thinking hard what to do, because they had seen movement in the US, so he knew that Kennedy knew about his missiles in Cuba. Those missiles had been a lot of trouble to get them into Cuba without anyone noticing, so when he found out that they knew of it down, he also started to make a plan to attack. The thing about Khrushchev was that even though he was a man that acted out of impulse, he also was cold and calculated, and he didn't want a nuclear war to happen, because what's the point of being the winner if there's nothing left to win? The start of the nuclear war was going to be a worldwide catastrophe. The USA had more missiles than the Soviets had, and the Soviets had different kinds of missiles in Cuba. They had short-range missiles, those made a lot of damage, long-range missiles that made less damage but reached until they got to Washington or a bit farther, and they had medium-range missiles. So the US was scared they were going to use them, but Khrushchev wasn't going to use those. They were only planning to use some normal short-range missiles in case the US invaded Cuba with boats. The thing was that the Soviets had put the missiles in Cuba just to scare the USA away, because they had put missiles in Turkey first, but the USA had took that as a threat, and that's why they wanted to do something. Castro, on the other side, wanted to attack no matter what, because he was a revolutionary by heart, and didn't care if Cuba was poisoned with nuclear toxins, as long as the USA was destroyed. All this conflict began mostly because of communism. The United States was a capitalist, which is a political system that is in favor of democracy, freedom of speech, and free economy. And the Soviet Union was a communist, that is in favor of dictatorship and a government in charge of the economy of the country. Russia had developed the system during the Russian Revolution, and a lot of countries started to adopt it. The US didn't like communism, so when Castro won the revolution for Cuba and decided that communism was the best option for them, Kennedy didn't like that, because it was going to be an influence on the other Latin American countries that were capitalists, so they didn't want Cuba to be communist. That's basically why the whole problem started, because one guy, Castro, wanted the country, Cuba, to be free from the US. But a good thing is that it ended well, because, well, if it hadn't, maybe we wouldn't be alive right now, because a war would break out. So in the end, Kennedy and Khrushchev agreed to both remove the missiles that were in Cuba and in Turkey, so that there wasn't any war. And we have to be very happy about that, because it probably would have ended in catastrophe. So that's the summary of the book I chose, and I hope there's never a problem like that ever again, because with the leaders we currently have, I don't think it would have been resolved peacefully. So thank you for watching. Bye!